morning, everybody, and welcome, premiers. It's not that often we get a premier here, but to have two of them here together is an honor. And Premier Wynne, thank you very much for having and not only an open mind, but listening and having an appreciation for the whole province. And we really appreciate that. We're about as far as you can go. And Mayor Phil, Kathleen, we had that kind of disagree with me, but we're as far as you can go.
I was there last year.
Thank you very much for the announcement. You know, the funny thing when we were standing outside chatting, and I just made Premier Selinger aware that it's an interesting piece of property that we're standing on here, because this piece of property, of course, at one time used to be part of Manitoba. And that's why all the premiers that have cottages, or premiers from Manitoba that have cottages, always stay west of Kenora Lane, because they don't lose the song. But this is also a very important piece of property, because the bay right over here, what we call Cameron Bay now, is the crossroads of Canada. Before railroads and highways and a whole lot of bridges, that was the crossroads. That's where the voyageurs come. That's where the First Nations met different people. That's where the First Nations before our forefathers were here met on Tunnel Island, just back over here in trade. So it's a real important piece of property. I think one of the most important things about preserving this and this property and the waterways, and you know, with our new brand promise, I'll just read it here for people that haven't heard it. Kenora is North America's premier boating destination with a connection to the lake of the Woods, and 14,522 islands. There are our events, amenities, we celebrate our history, we build our future, we're stewards of the lake, we nurture its pristine environment, and we live the lake life. And I think that's the key, is you can actually live the lake life, and you can still keep the environment pure and clean. And if you, Lake of the Woods, all them islands, over 3/4 of them islands, for people that don't know, are actual parkland. The Crown lands were turned in the master life process back in 1998, were turned into parkland, they can't be developed. So over 3/4 of the land mass out there of the islands is completely protected. And the other thing about, I think, the uniqueness of where we are here in North America is we are almost dead center in North America. This is the heart of North America. I guess Steinbach would argue a little bit geographically, they're right in the center of Canada, but we know the center's not, the heart's not in the center of the body, it's just a little to the right and down. But the thing is, if a continent and if an area is going to be pure, I mean, the heart has to be healthy. And the heart is pumping both ways. I mean, the water, when you hit Upsala, starts flowing south and east, and from there on flows north. And we've always had, right back to the agreements with former Mayor Van Murray, Minister of Infrastructure, with Kenora's garbage some years ago, on protecting this watershed, protecting these waterways. And the experimental lakes has had so much to do with that, with the, as Premier Selinger said, with the acid rain, had a lot of discussions, had guest speakers, scientists that come to the Kiwanis Club at the time I belonged to, and explained all about the acid rain and the things. Too bad we hadn't done this before, and Finland and some of the Scandinavian countries wouldn't have the problems that they had, because we'd have had this science and we'd known what was happening. So it is important, Premier. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for this announcement. And I do have to say, in my municipal political career, I've dealt with 5 premiers, and I've dealt with, from all 3 parties. I've dealt with a lot of cabinet ministers, but I've never dealt with anybody that listens like you. Thank you. I'm sorry we're out of time for questions. I'm just joking. Is there any questions?